Well, hello and welcome to I Love Gay today. And this is a special edition. We are here live at the Connect Thrive Summit in Orlando. And it's one of our first conferences, summits that most of us have been to since the pandemic and COVID started. So we're all very excited to be here, but also everyone has been very safe. The entire conference has focused on safety and taking the precautions all along the way. So we're here and we're doing our interviews live in front of what they call studio audience. And we're here with Sam Eddinger from Visit Florida. How are you, Sam?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. It's great that you were able to be here. And
yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And but what I was going to say, Visit Florida. We've got like this history. I've been with IGLTA since '99. And it just seems like you guys have been there since the very beginning, just always very supportive and very present in the LGBT travel community.
Definitely. Yeah, Visit Florida, we've been in the LGBTQ market for years now, and we weave it into our marketing strategy organically. So, I'm on the PR team, and we work with travel writers and travel influencers and bring them to the state to showcase our diverse offerings. Specifically with our website, we have an amazing LGBTQ travel hub. So you go to visitflorida.com and then they have a little section on there which is specifically tailored to the LGBTQ audience. So, for travelers who come to the state who are part of our community, they want to go to somewhere that's safe and somewhere that, has everything that we like to do. And, it has like a list of the top 10 beaches and top 10 destinations, and then, it kind of trickles down in that way. And then Visit Florida, we work with a lot of different brands, and we partner with them. Specifically, we just announced a partnership with the Outbound Collective, which is a very outdoor-focused adventure brand, and they pride themselves on diversity and inclusion. So working with brands like that, all of that is kind of how we're organically pushing out the message of the diverse offerings that we have.
No, it's excellent. And I know Florida's famous for events. I mean, whether it was Winter Party and Aqua Girl and so many different things all throughout the state. But that's a kind of a core part of what you guys focus on as well.
Totally, yeah. Florida has amazing LGBTQ events. Yeah. I've been to several, even in Orlando, the Come Out with Orlando Pride every year is amazing. And then, we have the Tampa Pride that I grew up in Tampa, and that was always kind of a constant. And in Ybor City. That's actually where I got married. It's like Ybor is amazing. And then Pensacola Pride usually over Memorial Day weekend, and then actually upcoming in Tampa they have the Tampa Transgender Film Festival. And it's actually going to be online this year, I believe, which is going to be really cool. So it's going to be, I think, November 20th through 22nd. So that's an amazing upcoming event as well.
Yeah, it's but especially in this age of COVID. But we can come back to that part. I was going to say even over the last few months or weeks, a lot has been happening even in some of the more obscure and places that were not necessarily on the LGBT map.
Definitely.
I know Naples just launched their LGBT center as well.
Oh, yeah. I think that was October when they opened that.
I know that IGLTA was there, and it was just they had a really nice event even during this time where they were able to bring people together.
Yeah, and keep it very safe as well. Yeah, that center is amazing, and even in St. Pete they have one of those as well, and like just a place where people like us and queer people, we can go to a space and feel comfortable, and people who are like-minded, and that's so important for people like us. We want to be around people that we feel comfortable with, and those allies. And speaking of off the beaten path, I mean, I kind of talked about this yesterday. I'm obsessed with Crystal River. It's an hour and a half from here. It's the only place in North America that you can swim with manatees legally. It's an ethical thing. You're in their environment, but it's a passive observation kind of thing. So you let them come to you. But it's an amazing experience, and that is something that it's a hidden gem. It's a place that you wouldn't necessarily think of when you think of Florida. And we have so many of those in Florida. And St. Augustine is a great place as well. It's they have the great historic district, the downtown area. And Pensacola, I mentioned a little bit too. They have an amazing downtown and just nightlife and bars and just we're trying to push out that message of the core and more, I guess. Like you come to the state for the things that you're comfortable with, and then extend your trip and do something that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Like make that road trip that is an hour from where you stay. So
well, it seems that road trips are that's the key word nowadays, where with travel locked down so much and just in general.
Totally.
Are you guys really focusing on kind of the road trip market?
Absolutely, yeah. So right now, Visit Florida's in our drive market, so we call it our domestic rebound campaign.
Yeah.
So we're focusing on those drive markets, which is Atlanta, Nashville, those core states that are right here. And showcasing that you don't necessarily have to get on a plane to get here.
Yeah,
I mean, and we even expand all the way up to like New York. I mean, you can make a road trip.
Yeah, that's true.
And we market in the Canadian market too. And once that border opens, you can make that trip down here. And they're coming up with the new inventive ways to get those travelers here to Florida because especially the winter months are coming up, and those people are going to definitely want to get out and come to the Sunshine State.
I would even just say, on a personal anecdote, I road tripped from New York to Orlando last year.
Oh, very nice.
And if it wasn't for that road trip, I would have never discovered Savannah.
Oh,
I mean, I've always heard of it and knew of it, and so it's almost like you could partner with folks and say, on your road trip from someplace farther away,
stop in these places on the
stop
way.
in this place because it was one of the highlights of my entire road trip.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we work with influencers, like I said, and a lot of them, they do road trips, and they'll start, like we just worked with a couple, and they came from LA, and then they drove all throughout the Midwest, and then ended in Florida because obviously we're south.
Yep.
So they the whole way they covered their entire trip on, and just I think they were in an RV, so like the whole RV road trip kind of thing was a huge focus. So it's great.
Those things, they really resonate nowadays. So
Definitely.
It's wonderful to see that. Well, I think this is great, and I really appreciate you being able to take a few moments to share a little what you guys are up to.
Definitely.
All right. Well, fantastic. Thanks again.
You too.
There you are. But what if instead you were here? That one letter difference changes everything. Here shifts your perspective. Because vacations are less about what you do and more about what they do to you. So give yourself over to the sounds of waves washing up on shore. To naps on the beach, to full days without shoes or shirts or worries. Say yes to something new. Try conch. Try the front row. Try this. When you do, something happens that's indescribable. You are more you. They are more them. You see each other in a brighter light, and the warmth of those moments never fades. Somehow, a vacation can take you to exactly where you need to be. Which is, of course, here. That's the power of a Florida vacation.